All right, Broncos country. Looks like we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We got to let the stream breathe for just a second here. Make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. Welcome in, Broncos country, to this Denver Broncos breaking news live stream. I am your host, Gage Madrid. The Denver Broncos have released their final injury report ahead of tomorrow's Thursday night game against the Las Vegas Raiders. And unfortunately, we do have a little bit of bad news. But before we dive into things, guys, I'm going to let a few people start streaming on in here. And while we do that, we'll take care of some housekeeping matters. If you could just do me a big favor and smash the like button on this stream, as well as subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. It's not mandatory whatsoever, but if you guys want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out and helping this channel grow, I would really appreciate it. The link is in the description below. Let's go ahead and bring the injury report in right away. Stop beating around the bush here, guys. Just give me 1 second to get that up. Make sure we are good. There we go. So the Denver Broncos have 3 players listed as out on their injury report. 2 of them do not come as a surprise. Pat Surtain with his pec and Nate Adkins with his knee. Unfortunately, Marvin Mims has not progressed through the concussion protocol. You have to get a full practice in order to be cleared. He got a limited practice in today. That means he is not able to clear the protocol. He's out for this game. So the Broncos are going to have to contend both on offense and special teams without Marvin Mims. I thought that we were going to get him back for this game, but unfortunately, again, he just didn't clear the protocol, and Michael Bandy is going to be in line to be the Broncos punt returner once again. And I know Broncos country collectively is going to kind of have their butt cheeks clenched a little bit whenever Michael Bandy goes to field a punt because of what happened in that Houston game. So obviously that's a less than ideal situation right there. And then additionally on offense, we're going to depend on guys like Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant to step up more. So the Broncos were able to make it last week without Marvin Mims, but this week it definitely does suck. PJ Locke is also listed as questionable for the game. He got a full practice in today, so I would anticipate that's good news. I don't think that he's going to miss the game. And the fact that he's questionable, again, really good because he had that spinal fusion surgery in the offseason. I was a little bit worried about PJ Locke there because, again, man, whenever you have spinal fusion surgery and then you've got a neck after that, that definitely is cause for concern. Everybody else is good to go. So that's good news, but not having Marvin Mims out there is meant to remove that. There we go. Let's go ahead and start saying hi to some people. We got Victory Lap in the house. We got Mike Miller. Victory says, Bo Magic, baby. JG says, no bad news, please. Yep, unfortunately, Marvin Mims is out for this one, so that is the bad news. But overall, the injury report could be a lot worse given all the DNPs that we had at the beginning of the week. Victory says, let's keep rolling. We got Ace of Spades saying, yo, let's go Broncos. Yep, Rayanne says Marvin is out. Good to see you, Rayanne. Yep, Marvin's still out for this one, unfortunately. Victory says, it's the Raiders. We're good. Ace of Spade. Pat Bryant will step up big time. I believe he will, but the thing is, Bryant doesn't really play the same role that Marvin Mims does. Bryant is more of a backup X receiver, and he's also an inline receiver. Mims is more of a Z in a slot, so they are different kinds of receivers, but I do anticipate Pat Bryant to step up. Locking in, headed to Mile High from Utah. Good to see you, Eddie. Hopefully that means you are headed to the game. Hope to see you out there. Mims and Pat hopefully come back next week. It would be good to have Pat Surtain back for the Chiefs game. Realistically, it might be Washington, but after this mini bye, I do anticipate Mims will be able to clear the concussion protocol. The fact that he's able to at least get these limited practices in, that means that he's making progress in the protocol. It's not like this is a stalled out situation here where he still has a bunch of symptoms. he is progressing, but not ready to get that full practice in today, unfortunately. I have to wonder if the fact that Denver held a walkthrough today instead of a full practice since it's a short week, that might have played a factor in it, because I believe you have to have a full contact practice in, a full padded practice in before you can clear the protocol. So it just kind of sucks timing-wise with Denver being on the short week. I could be wrong there, but that might be what is going on. Bandy sucks. Let it bounce into the end zone. Yeah, man, Michael Bandy, anytime he goes to field the punt, you're clenching your cheeks a little bit. I would much rather him let it go and have it just bounce into the end zone, or hell, even bounce inside the 10, quite frankly. I'd rather have crappy field position than turn the ball over thanks to a muffed punt. We got Victory saying, hit the like button, Broncos country. Please do. It really does help me out, as well as subscribe if you have yet to do so. I say it and I mean it. Those are free and easy ways, and they are literally the best ways to show your support for Broncos Syndicate. It happens. Bandy will be fine. Go Broncos. I definitely appreciate the optimism there, Derek. Hopefully Bandy will look better than he did in his last outing. Who else can field a kick? That's the thing, man. Bandy's really the only one that they trust to field a punt outside of Marvin Mims, and fielding a punt and fielding a kickoff are very different. The ball spins differently. It's really difficult to field a punt. That's why there's only a select few people out there that are able to do it. So, yeah, man, it's definitely going to be a tough challenge, and I don't know how many other people out there trust, or how many other people are out there that the Denver Broncos trust to field a punt. We will put so much pressure on the Raiders quarterback. We should be good. I do anticipate a lot of pressure on Geno Smith as well. But at the end of the day, man, Denver's got to play a consistent brand of football for all 4 quarters against a bad team, which I am confident they will do. We previewed the game in depth in a full game preview video that we replaced earlier today. So if you got that we put out earlier today. So if you guys want to hear my full thoughts on this game in depth, then go ahead and check that video out. I would really, really appreciate it, guys. We'll be fine without Mims. I appreciate the optimism there, C. Chang. Hopefully they look better without Mims than they did last week. I'll just say that. Riley Moss will play, and I think Surtain will come back for the KC game. Again, that would be certainly ideal, but you don't want to push it either. Good to see you, Gage. Yep, always good to see you, Rayanne. Marvin needs the rest anyway. Yeah, with this 10-day mini bye, I think it is ultimately the right move for the Denver Broncos to hold him out. And again, he maybe just wasn't able to clear the protocol because Denver didn't hold like a full proper practice this week. Bryant needs more touches. He's got the best hands on the team. We should see more touches for Bryant as the season goes on. I'm very confident in saying that. Good to see you, Michael. Hope you are doing well. One of our channel members all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Coach Chris says, love the show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Coach. We got Yelmira. Apologies for butchering that name. What do you think about the Broncos picking up Mecole Hardman? He would be a good fill-in for Marvin Mims. Maybe, but I feel like if Denver were going to make an outside addition at that position at return man, they would have already done so. With Mims out, we need Bryant to step up. We're getting healthy for the KC Refs game. I got to warn you guys now, Broncos country, and I'm going to make a video about this. This one might also be a ref game because the ref who was assigned to this one, none other than Bill Vinovich. Bill Vinovich has a history with Sean Payton. He was the referee that blew that call in New Orleans, that clear and obvious pass interference call in that NFC Championship game. They hadn't assigned Bill Vinovich to New Orleans ever since, and I think this is only like the first or second time that Bill Vinovich has called has officiated a Sean Payton game since that incident. So, yeah, man, Bill Vinovich, typically one of the more biased refs out there, so that one's not going to be fun. Bandy should have let it bounce. At this point, I'd rather him just let it bounce than try to field it and muff it. Keep up the great job, man. Great channel. Thank you so much, Mike. Really appreciate you. We have sacks to make up for, to keep pace for the record. Hopefully that happens in this game. Goal, number 1 seed, for sure. You act like we're 2-7. Stop stressing. I don't act like we're 2-7. I just want this team to win a damn Super Bowl, man. And I feel like there's a lot of people in Broncos country that kind of have blinders on. La, 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 la. Everything's fine. La, la, la. Did I drop my phone? Nope, it didn't unplug. Yay, we didn't drop the stream. It didn't unplug. Let's go. But I feel like everybody's like, la, 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 everything's fine. And they don't want to acknowledge some of the flaws that this team has. This team has a few flaws, and I worry those flaws are going to come back to bite the team in the ass and prevent them from winning a Super Bowl. Surtain won't be back for KC. It's not for sure. I'm thinking it's more going to be Washington personally. I'd rather him come back after the bye, but I know Surtain's going to want to push it too. He's going to want to be out there for arguably the most important game of the season. So I can understand why the Broncos might want to push him there and why Surtain might want to push it as well. Moss returned punts in college and was pretty good at it. They did have him returning a punt after Marvin Mims got hurt. I don't know if they want him in that role full time because, again, I just feel like they'd rather him play defense as opposed to be out there returning punts. But, yeah, man, again, if they have to, I think they will. Come back after the bye. See, I think that's a more realistic option for Pat Surtain. Need to fix his timing with Ingram. For sure, you can tell that Bo Nix and Evan Ingram are not on the same page. Marvin will be back for the Chiefs game. It sure is looking like it. Special teams is already bad. It is, and not having Marvin Mims out there is going to make it worse. Vinovich screwed us in the Ravens playoff game also. I totally forgot he was the official for that game. Yeah, the officiating in the NFL, it has not been good. It has not been good at all. Have faith in Bandy. Gino's going to be running for his life. I agree. He's definitely going to be running for his life. Harvey to return punts. I don't know if they trust him in that role. Again, it is a much different role trying to return punts as opposed to trying to return kickoffs. So, yeah, we'll see because fielding a punt, it's not easy. Do they trust Harvey to consistently do it? At this point, I would say no. Yeah, we're definitely not going to see Bo versus Jaden week 13. Jaden's probably going to at least miss 4 to 6 weeks with this elbow dislocation, maybe more if the Commanders are out of things by that point. So, yeah, there's no way Jaden is going to play in that game. It's going to be Marcus Mariota, and low-key, I would not be surprised if the Broncos got flexed out of that game, if it got flexed out of Sunday Night Football, not because of the Broncos, but because of the Commanders. I honestly believe Geno Smith was a top 10 quarterback in Seattle. The tape says it, and a lot of the numbers will say it as well. You got to look beyond the raw stats there. He made elite tight window throws. He made elite decisions. He really was a top 10 quarterback during his best years in Seattle, but he has regressed big time since that point. Yes, be your own toughest critic. Absolutely. And I feel like it's a lot easier to criticize this team when they are 7-2 because it makes it easier to clean them up. Yes, Moss can return punts, but the question is, do they want him returning punts? RJ Harvey can return kick and punts too. He did some of that in college. We'll see if they trust him, man. They already trust him returning kicks, but do they trust him returning punts? Bidet, yeah, that's possible as well. We'll see. No way you put Moss back there with PS2 out. Yeah, that's kind of my thought process there. Did you see the Chiefs almost got Brees? They did. Thankfully, it didn't happen. It's kind of like what Mike Vrabel said earlier today, man. Some of these trades, it's kind of like getting pregnant. Either you are or you're not. That was really funny, and clearly it came close, but nothing materialized. Rizzy has no Riz. I just found out the other day what Riz means, and I got to be honest, I still don't know what 6'7" means, and I don't want to know either. I know Bandy had the muff, but I prefer shifty north to south returners over speed guys trying to get the corner. I get it, but above all else, I just want somebody who can cleanly field the ball. Spiritic says Bandy will be okay. I'm going to be at the game, Robert, so we'll be bringing in-person coverage, both pregame and postgame. We'll be bringing the presser from the game, all of that good stuff. Yeah, Daniels is getting killed out there for sure. No Myers tomorrow night. Indeed, he was traded away to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was the guy who always seemed to have good games against us. Yeah, you guys will remember that 2023 game where Myers killed us. Both of the 2023 games, actually. So it's going to be good that he's not going to be there. But we are going to have to face him later on in the season when Jacksonville comes to town. So our Week 12 game against the Commanders might be moved. I don't know anything for sure. That's just kind of my speculation. But the whole luster behind that game was supposed to be Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels, and obviously Daniels isn't going to play in that game. The Commanders might be dead by that point, so they have 2 weeks to make that decision. We will know by Sunday if that game's going to get flexed out or not. And if it does get flexed out, then I do believe the Broncos will get rewarded with a primetime game a little bit later on because, again, this wouldn't be the Broncos' fault. It's because of the Commanders. But I don't know if they're going to keep this game in Sunday Night Football at this point. Play smart. Get out of this game healthy. Absolutely. That is the number one thing. Play disciplined football. Don't shoot yourself in the foot with penalties. Stay ahead of the chains and get out of there healthy. 100%. RJ is the real joker for the Broncos. He's definitely shown some jokery traits, but I would say as of right now, Denver still doesn't have a real joker on the roster. Yeah, it is stupid. It really is. I have no clue what it means. I don't want to know what it means. It's dumb. It really is. Just let Vandy do it again. Mims also muffed punts. He did a little bit earlier on. He hasn't in his recent games, but at the end of the day, man, Vandy he's a jag. He's just another guy. Marvin Mims is an all-pro return man, so there's definitely going to be some drop-off there. I would have traded a first and a third for Waddle. We're going to need all the firepower possible to beat the Chiefs. I would have made that move too, honestly, but clearly Denver believes in what they're building and what they have in-house, so I've got to trust them. They've given me no reason to not trust them at this point. If Mims was still concussed, why was he practicing? He's progressing through the protocol. So first you have to get a limited practice in, then you have to get a full practice in. But we talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream. Denver didn't hold a full live practice this week. They just did walkthroughs because they're on a short week. So therefore, Mims couldn't complete that last step required to clear the protocol. It just kind of timed out. Unfortunate that Denver had a short week and they weren't holding any full-scale practices. I almost spilled my bong. That would have been the worst, man. Bong water on a carpet is the absolute worst. Yeah, week 13, not week 12. Week 12 is our bye week, exactly. Yeah, I would have made that trade too. Denver needs Vele back. Listen, in a vacuum, I still think it was the right move trading Vele because of what you got for him, but I do understand that some fans feel like the Broncos shouldn't have made that move. No Mims, no win. Can't afford to struggle for 3 quarters like that versus division rivals. We will lose that way. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. You can't struggle, but I do feel like the Broncos are the better team, and this Raiders team, they've shown some flashes, but they're still not good. They don't match up talent-wise to the Denver Broncos. Denver should take care of business in this one, even though these Thursday night games, they can get a little bit screwy for sure. Any news on Drew Sanders? No. That's still a week-to-week thing. So once we get to next week, then on Wednesday, if Sanders is practicing, then we'll know that his 21-day window has been activated. Until that happens, then it's going to pretty much be status quo with Drew Sanders. I lost a comment here. Where was it? Need less drops by Franklin and more Pat Bryant usage while Mims is out. We've definitely been talking about that here on this channel a lot. Waddle doesn't give us something we don't have other than experience. We have speed and guys that can catch. We need to get Bo to throw better. I agree with you, Coach. I 100% do, but I still feel like Denver doesn't have a true outside Z receiver. They've got 2 X's in Cortland Sutton and Pat Bryant. They've got 2 guys who are really more slot guys in Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin. I still think they need a Z, and that's something I hope they get this offseason. Yes, fellow Chiefer, indeed. Bong water all over a keyboard versus carpet isn't any better. I mean, I've done both, unfortunately. I've killed a couple of keyboards like that. I've learned not to keep it on the desk. I no longer do that. I always keep it on the floor. But yeah, anytime it goes on the carpet, that's not good. The Z receiver is Ingram. That's fair. That definitely is fair. But I still want them to go get a true Z. Remember, you got to Bo leave. Absolutely. I mean, they do put Ingram at a Z, actually. They do use him in that role, but still, I want them to get a true Z because At the end of the day, they've got a bunch of wide receivers that have these niche roles, but they don't really have somebody who can do everything for them. And that's what I feel like Waddle could have done. All right, guys, we are at the 20-minute mark. We're going to go ahead and wind this thing down. Toke till you choke, baby. Absolutely. Before we do, guys, if you could just do me a big favor and smash the like button on the stream as well as subscribe, I really appreciate it. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. Not for a first and a third, I get it. And ultimately, I think the Broncos were smart not giving up that much. I would have probably done it, but I know that later on, I'll probably say it was a good move that they didn't do it. Yes, we very much do. We literally call this closet the hot box. That is the nickname for this closet. All right, guys. And until next time, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.